99.9 Punk World Radio FM. We got a phenomenal one for you here tonight. We got Baltimore, Maryland's own, and this isn't your typical punk rock duo. These two individuals are actually married, and then they started a band. So if that's not the perfect couple, I don't know what else is. We got Bitter Tits right here live on the radio. How are you both doing tonight?
Oh,
And as I said at the beginning of this interview, you both are a married couple. You're in a punk rock duo. I know you get probably asked this every interview, but I have to be the 1 millionth and one person to ask it. Tell us a bit more about how you both actually kind of went from marriage into a punk rock duo, because that is the most badass shit I've ever heard in my life. I love it.
that's awesome. Actually, well, we've been together for like 10 years now, and we always had his own thing. Loose Nuts was the previous band, Teenage Corpses, they're all, yeah, all Southern California bands, and I had my own little things going on, and we kind of met through a mutual friend. She was like, "Oh, you play guitar? See, my friend Dario plays guitar. You two should meet." And then, like, years later, we finally got together, yada yada down the road. We're like, let's just jam together and let's just. I got a lot of these songs written. You're really good. He originally is a bass player, and I was like, dude, we need a drummer because we can't keep one down. So I bought him a drum set for his birthday.
She owed me a drum set.
Yeah.
I pawned her all her guitars.
I really stucky presents for you.
Great gift giver.
I owed you that. So yeah, then from there we just started writing songs. I was doing it acoustically. Then we just
JD Rotten.
Band. Yep.
You can still find those songs acoustic recorded on Spotify and whatnot under JD Rotten. They're great songs. And most of the songs we actually converted to full songs, like with electric and drums and all that. But we're still working with that stuff.
And so you guys became a band before you even got married.
No, she was doing acoustic, and we were like, we didn't have a name or anything yet. We were jamming. We were like just in the middle of turning our songs into full electric. And then we got married at the Punk Rock Museum in Vegas. And we were the first couple to get married and get to jam in the Pennywise Garage right afterwards for our family. It was pretty cool. So we played some of our songs with everybody. It was awesome. There's a little footage of that somewhere. I'll put it up sometime. Somehow. Yeah.
That's actually totally killer. Like the Punk Rock Museum. Did any of I obviously, like, that museum is absolutely flooded with punk rock legends. So like the day of your wedding, did any punk rock legends actually attend the service?
Fat Mike almost went there. His friend Sharky and a partner for Bottles to the Ground record label showed up, and they're like, "Yeah, we were just at a meeting with Fat Mike. He was gonna come, but we didn't know there was a wedding happening and this and that." So they showed up.
He would have been there.
Yeah, he would have been
there. Dude, what?
I was like, why would you tell me that? He was always here. Yeah, no, but that weekend, who was I think Keith Morris was actually doing guided tours, but we went there on our own with our friends and stuff, and then he wasn't there by the time we did our thing. But yeah, he was there that weekend.
That's actually cool. It would have been really sick to have Fat Mike of No Effects actually be there at your wedding. That would have been killer.
You telling me, man?
So if you're listening, Fat Mike.
We keep on missing you, but like that much.
One of these days, man.
And obviously, you guys have a phenomenal band name. I love it. I mean, it's Bitter Tits. It's unique. It's one of a kind, and it's actually funny. I love it. What's the story behind Bitter Tits? Like, how did you both come up with this amazing name?
It's a love name. That's what I call her.
No, we were having the hardest time, and people were like, well, why don't you just call yourself JD Rotten? And I was like, I don't really like the ego with having your own name in the band name. I'd rather it be about the band.
At one point, I wanted to call it JD Rotten and the Bitterman. Because I think the word bit is funny. Bitter to me is funny for some reason. It's just a silly, and then the older we get, some people go jaded or get a little bitter. It's a little kind of bitter a little bit. It's something we can get behind. But I was telling Jess one day, I was like, what about Bitter Bits? Trying to get her to, because I don't want to say Bitter Tits. I don't know, it could be offensive or whatever. And she just said Bitter Tits. I was like, yeah, that's it. That's the one. And then so she named it.
And I was like, Ari, are you serious? And he's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, all right,
it's a name I can get behind. I mean, I'm bitter because I have tits. You know what I
mean? Well, it works out. You know what I mean? You both have one of the qualities in the name. Best way to do it.
Well, we're both a little bitter sometimes, and we both have tits.
I think every married couple or people that are in a relationship, they get a little bitter at times. I mean, you got to put up with that one person, you know what I mean, for so long. So there's times you're happy, but there's times you're definitely bitter a bit.
Yeah, we've been engaged for like 8 years before we got married, so we went through a lot between the engagement and then the marriage. Like we've been all over the place. We've been up and down, up and down, up and down, and yeah, then we're still strong, we're killing it. Got the band going. We've been married for about a year now, so pretty cool. Yeah. And I swear that name's a hit because like after we finally settled on the name and then we get the recordings out, we just started booking shows like crazy. Our Instagram blew up. We went from like 80 followers to 2,000 within a month. Yeah. And then also the name got a shadow banned off Facebook. So we have like 120 people on Facebook that follow us. And so there's a huge gap. And then just last week, I got a message from Facebook saying that we are now not shadow banned and that they'll push us now. But it's like, it's so far behind. And like, who goes on Facebook anyways, you know? So, I mean, we'll still do it, you know, deal with it. But like, Instagram's cooler.
The fact that Zuckerberg, or Zuckerberg, I should say, because he definitely sucks. The fact that he's still shadow banning people on Facebook in 2025, like, I mean,
Joe Rogan, you know, saying that they're more like, you know, whatever, freedom of speech and yada yada, but then they they shadow ban us for the words tits.
It's not even offensive.
But there's so much stuff that actually goes on that platform that is very questionable. So the word tits is like, come on, you know?
Yeah, it's a joke. And it's funny, like, I've actually gotten, like, every day to message me. It's been for a week now. Every day I get a message, like, we're not banning you anymore. We're not banning you anymore.
I was like, I swear to God, we called him out on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, Ray, we can find you easily. You're not fine. I was like, all right, you got to call him out for that.
Yeah, we pulled the tit away from Facebook. They can't. No.
I think if Facebook sent me a notification saying that we're no longer shadow banning you, I'd be like, all right, bet. I'd make that my absolute challenge to just push the envelope as much as humanly possible just to get shadow banned, just to be like, F the system.
Exactly,
my go-to all the time whenever someone sends me messages or like pictures, I just like sending like a picture of like my dog's butt. So like, I don't know, maybe we'll change our picture to our dog's butt or something. Or find like a nice, like a dog nipple or something. I don't know.
And also as well, we actually have a punk up here saying, I can't wait to get my vinyl. I so enjoyed the show with the queers.
Yeah,
check it out. We've been holding on to this for like 2 weeks now. So you can order our vinyl from what is it?
ElasticStage.com. Just look up Bitter Tits, and our EP is called Dessert First.
Yeah, you can get it on CD or vinyl. I got both because I love CDs still. Yeah. And it was funny. This is the second pressing because the first one was spelt wrong. So our buddy Punk might have ordered the misprint. I'm not sure which one he's getting. We'll find out. But it takes about 2 weeks to get here because it comes from London. You want to talk while I open this?
Yeah. So it's so Mike, the guy who recorded us at Hyper Studios, actually went ahead and put this on vinyl. We put in the artwork and everything, but the first print he misspelled it as Desert First, and I told him to correct it. So there's a few collector's editions, if you will, misprints, but here's what the vinyl looks like.
Yeah, here's the vinyl.
There's the back.
And then also there's a CD if you want to see the CD. Yeah, these come from London, so they take about 2-3 weeks to get to you. They're really cool because they're ours. It's my first time on vinyl. It's my first time on vinyl too. We're very excited about this. Shout out to Mike. Go. Sorry, Mike. From the Hypernova Studios. He's the man.
And then also Meg Mitchell said the best on my shelf right now.
Woo! She's the one who married us. She was our, what's the words?
The person who married
officiant.
Yeah. Officiant.
Yeah,
she actually married us at the podcast museum.
What's up, Meg? Thanks for watching.
And also, I know we were just digging into the album now, so it definitely seems fitting to talk more about Dessert First. But January 27th, 2025, you guys dropped a phenomenal EP that you just showed on the screen, Dessert First. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about the story and inspiration behind this amazing record. And I know you actually just told us where you can actually purchase it as well. So make sure you get your hard copy, CD or vinyl, whatever tickles your fancy.
Really quick before we get away from it, the mix on the recordings, the vinyl and the CD is a better mix. It's a remix, so it's a better mix than what we have available on Spotify and Apple and everything.
Yeah, it's a little more.
Yeah, it's more evened out and everything. It sounds much better.
There's 4 songs on that one. So most of them, first one was written about my sister, and the other 3 are more written about friends and old roommates that we've come across too, who have been very colorful in our past.
She's the storyteller. She's such an amazing writer when it comes to words and whatnot. I had her back there. I love it.
No, it's so we went through a little bit ourselves. We went through about 5 years of drug use, came out clean, and we went through it cold turkey and did it all ourselves. But along the way, we have met some weird ass people and really cool people, and I just started to write a bunch of stuff down. I think that was my therapy of getting it all out.
Yeah,
so
never lived.
Songs are either we've lived them personally or we've known people who have lived that, and I've told her story.
Yeah, if you ever like a drug user, never let your drug dealer become your roommate, because then you're just gonna do more drugs. Yeah.
Well, I have to say, I'm glad that you two are still here. You're clean. You're doing well. You're in recovery, and you can laugh about that now. I got to say that right there is some good spirits.
You got me, man. You're still here and fucking wrong. I mean, fuck it.
We've been writing songs together forever now, but it took about 8 years to write songs with some sort of substance, like good meaning. Like her story, like I said, her stories are so well. Like it took us a while to get some good stories because we both on our own been through a lot of crap and been through a lot of things, but it makes more sense to write about our story, you know?
Yeah, write what you know, man. Like, love songs are, like, the hardest thing to write because no matter what I put down on paper, I'm like, oh, that's so cheesy.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like, ew, who says that?
I can't write a love song. It's really hard. I mean, I can, but it's like, I'm like, just kick myself in the nuts over and over again. Like, yeah, I love you. Like, you know I love you.
You got to stand in front of the mirror and bully yourself a little bit, you know?
Yeah, right.
But also, with this EP, I gotta say, these 4 songs are absolutely killer. But the one that I love the most is actually Villain with the White Cat, and that in Hollywood. I find the transition through this EP is phenomenal. 1 through 4 and 4 all the way to 1. No matter what way you listen to it, it's phenomenal all the way through.
Thank you so much, man.
That's awesome. I really love to hear that people enjoy it. That's the best part.
Yeah, I actually play bass and drums on the track, so I'm normally a bass player, but I love drums. I've always had a big love affair with drums. Like, never been good at them, but like now that I have them at home, I jam on them a lot more. I become a lot better. Now I love playing drums. Like, if I have to choose between the two, I'd rather play drums. Like, I became a decent bass player. I used to be a great bass player, but now I'm a decent bass player because I'm more drums. You know? I love it.
And also, with this album, did you actually do drums on this album as well, or did you just strictly stick to the bass?
I did drums on the album as well, and that was with only 4 months of drumming under my belt. So I'm like a pretty fresh drummer. Like I'm a lot better at those songs now. But then, I did do drums on those too. And it was funny because like it was right when winter started, but like he had the AC on. Like I'm always running hot, so I just had the heater blowing in my face. I'm like sweating bullets within 5 minutes of like drumming the pain in the ass. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah, great learning curve, man. Like doing bass in the recording studio, I can knock out songs first take, but drums, that's something different. It's a lot of fun.
And also, so speaking of Punk, because I know Punk mentioned this earlier on in the interview about how he saw you open up for the Queers. But with that being said, May 9th, just last Friday, you had, a few Fridays ago, you had the opportunity to share the stage with the legendary punk rock band, the Queers. Did either of you actually get the opportunity to meet any of the members of the band before or after your performance and actually get a chance to kick it with them?
Talk a little bit.
Yeah, very briefly. We were there for like the sound check, and then we're like, hey, hi, and then they all went to go get food and stuff like that. And then we were the first ones to play, and then after that, I mean, the place was like packed, and I was trying to like. We helped out another band. I think one of them forgot their.
I forgot my snare drum. That's what it was. Oh yeah, someone forgot a power chord. I forgot a snare drum. The guy from Clay from Paperback Tragedy let me borrow his snare, but we were just talking with them a lot. We were hanging out with them.
Didn't get a chance to really see them too much. Hopefully next time though.
We saw them. They were like, I know they're on tour right now. Nice, I can be very annoying. I talk a lot about things that. I don't even know. I just talk a lot. So it's like,
that's what makes an interview interesting and great. Trust me. Like there's times I've had an interview where people give me like 2 words and I'm sitting there like on video trying not to scratch my head, being like, how the fuck do I follow up with this? So trust me, talk. Interviewers love that shit.
Awesome. They were really nice though. When we did see them, they were just like all smiles and stuff. And then we saw them play, and then they were like, yeah, thank you to the other bands and stuff. So we look forward to meeting them again another time.
We also our choir member over here. He debuted that day too. Pickle Rick here. He's coming with us. We got him. We want him at a Ben. Not Ben and Jerry's. Dave and Buster's.
It was like 5 fucking years.
Yeah, we saved our. We held on to our tickets. We saved our tickets. We finally got Pickle Rick. This guy's huge. We got him. Like, now what?
Like, well, now he's coming with us. He's
a bass player, so we got one.
And also, do you have any other shows actually coming up? Because obviously, people are in the chat, just like Pop Punk saying here, an amazing show that you guys put together. So with that being said, do you have any other up-and-coming shows? That way the fans that didn't get a chance to see Bitter Tits can actually redeem themselves and actually come on out and see punk rock's best married couple tear up the venue.
Yeah, actually, so no local shows at the moment. The next show we have is July 19th at Tilting the Flippers in West Virginia. That is, I think it's an arcade bar.
Pinball bar.
Like that and all that kind of stuff too.
And there's also, we have another show coming. I believe I forget the date. It's like a week beforehand with our friends Holt Faction and O'Shaughnessy. We'll post about it on our Instagram. I'm terrible with we forgot to write down the details. Sorry. But just keep an eye on our Instagram. We'll post about it. But that's the week before, and that's in Western Virginia. Where's that one?
Is that in West Virginia as well?
We'll post about it. I forget.
They're from DC, Virginia area. I think we're around that area for like the next 2 shows, actually.
And I do know as well, we spoke about Dessert First EP that people can actually buy vinyl, CD. We went all through that. But with that being said, after this album dropped, you guys hit the ground running. You had nonstop show bookings. You guys are going to be like going from Baltimore all the way to West Virginia to actually do some shows. So with that being said, will there be new music this year in 2025? Because this album absolutely blew up. We're even playing it here in Canada. People are loving what Bitter Tits bring to the punk rock community. So I guess this question is kind of for me as well and for the rest of the fans. Will there be new music? Because I got to say, punk rock needs some more Bitter Tits.
Absolutely. We have I think we're going to do about another 7 to 8 song release. I'm going to try to record it actually soon. I'm hoping for maybe a winter release on the next music and full length, more or less.
Well, it's probably going to be an EP. We'll probably record enough for a full length to release half of it, unless we get some sort of like backing from a label or something. Then we'll do a full length, because this is all out of our pockets, and just like everybody else, we all got day jobs. And we don't have any kids, but we do have 2 dogs. I don't know if you can hear them; they're wrestling right now. But so like whatever our pockets allow. So like we're definitely gonna release another EP for sure.
Yes,
we have enough for a full length, but we're gonna hold on with some of those tracks and then let them trickle out here and there. Because like nowadays, like with all the streaming sites and stuff, I noticed a lot of bands do a lot of single releases, like compared to like full lengths and EP. So maybe we'll do another EP just to like drop in a little more than just one song. But and then hold on and let them trickle out here. I don't know. We'll see. But there's definitely new music coming.
Yeah, we got at least 7 to 8 new songs that we play at current shows now that just aren't recorded, and then other ones that we actually just finished writing a song.
Oh, you were sick! Yeah,
it sounds so fucking sick. It's called "Ride On," and I can't wait for you guys to hear that.
Right on.
And when you mentioned about dropping a song or so, it's always good to give the fans a little taste. You know what I mean? You gotta wave something in front of their face. You gotta reel them in. They might be bitter at first, but they just gotta hold their tits.
And that's also why we called the first release Dessert First, because it's only a little bit to taste. So it's like Dessert First. Have a little bit of something.
Have that first. Treat yourself.
Eventually you'll get the full course meal, but as of right now, we'll start off with something a little sweet.
But aside from the shows in West Virginia, and of course, the EP that you guys are currently cooking up right now, well, what is next for both of you? Well, what's next for Bitter Tits? Like anything else you still want to touch on, talk about, or promote? Well, we still got you here on 99.9 FM tonight.
We would love to shoot music videos. I really would love to do something with one of those songs, get some visual stuff that we can release and just
we got a ton of ideas. We're both very artistic. Like I love painting and stuff, and we just like art. So I mean, we got plenty of ideas. So, I love a lot of comedy stuff too, so little skits and stuff. So we want to do like a music video or something. So we just want to play. Like the goal is to have fun and play. Like I love playing. Like I've been in the past. I've been in bands that were doing stuff. I once was approached by Sony Records, and we thought it was BS because it was a big story. Like we went through the guy's drawers when he was out of his room, like in our little meeting.
You thought they rented it as a office.
Yeah, the drawers of this guy's desk were empty, so we basically told Sony to F off. But back then, we just found out that the Sony, I guess, just dealt with pushing your content. They don't pay for recording; you got to pay for studio time and whatnot. So I don't know. People used to talk about like, what do you do when you get the big check when you get signed? Yada yada. That doesn't happen. That's not a thing anymore. I just like to have fun. I want to play music with my wife.
Yeah.
And
we can do that professionally and quit our day jobs. But fuck yeah, sign us right away. We'd love to do that full time.
We just want to play more shows with cool bands, meet some new friends,
do some music videos, and that's pretty much it. See where it takes us, you know.
Oh yeah. So if anyone's walked in and runs shows or promoters and whatnot, we'll drive. Yeah, we want to play. We just want to play cool shows with cool punk bands. We're not emo bands. Sorry. Emo music's great, but we don't really fit them. You know, we're kind of old. You know, I don't know. Good. Well, I'm from California. There's no emo in California. It's summer all year long, baby. We don't get that over there.
I will definitely tell you. Down here in Canada, we get sad in the wintertime. You know, it's just it's like that winter anxiety, man.
Turns out I was never depressed in my life. Done with a week with no sun.
And 24/7 sun.
It's very humbling. I dig it. It's very humbling. I like to feel things, even if it's depression. You know, at least I know I'm not depressed about some real shit. I'm just missing the sun. You know?
Hey, if you're depressed, at least you can actually go down to the beach, just lay on the sand, crack a Corona, and be like, man, what the hell am I depressed about? Why am I sad today? Look at that serotonin I'm soaking in. You know.
See, that's exactly what I said when I lived down in California for 10 years. I was like, bitch, don't be mad. You see these palm trees around you? You're on vacation.
Yeah, shout out to Oside, by the way. Oside, what's up, homies? Yeah, Oside. I missed that place.
But I got to say, first and foremost, before we actually wrap things up, where can we actually follow Bitter Tits across social media? Because obviously I know how to follow you guys, but for people down here in Canada, might just be discovering Baltimore, Maryland zone. But how do we go about following you if we're not already doing so?
So we're on Facebook, Instagram. I think that's the only music we're doing. I mean, our music's on some Spotify and on YouTube and stuff like that too.
Apple Music,
make an X account and all that kind of stuff, or Twitter, whatever that is. The old
if you search for us on Instagram, it's Bitter Tits, so it's lowercase bitter down without underscore tits. I tried looking up Bitter Tits, capital bitter, and then space tits. You can't find it. You gotta do
lowercase bitter underscore tits. You'll find it.
Yeah, but you can find our music on Instagram. I'm sorry, not Instagram. Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora,
YouTube,
Amazon, all that stuff.
And I got to say, first and foremost, guys, thank you so much for giving not only myself, but the radio station airways a bit of your time. It was such an honor chatting with you both. When the new EP drops, we definitely got to get you back on the radio station airwaves to chat some more. But for now, have yourselves a phenomenal Monday night. And again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, what up, 991 bro? Stay rotten.
Hey, most definitely. I definitely will. But we definitely shall talk again soon. But for now, keep making that killer music and keep tearing the roof off them venues. We definitely shall chat soon.
All right, love it. See you later.
Love, love, love.